How's everybody doing? My name is Mike, and this is Mr. Oreo. Oreo's been here about 3 or 4 days. I got him, and my camera was not working right. We've been having some technical difficulties, but we're working now. So this is a 2-year-old. He's about 2 years old, American Bulldog and Pit Bull mix. Now he's basically just become unmanageable at the owner's house when he's out of the crate. Now he's doing a lot better just in the few days he's been here. He came to me with a harness on. This is very common. There's a lot of other trainers out there that will recommend harnesses, and vets will recommend harnesses. And the only thing a harness is good for this. You see how the dog's constantly pulling me? And this is actually really good compared to the way the dog was just a few days ago. This dog probably pulls harder than any dog I've had, and I've had a 105-pound Belgian Malinois, a French Mastiff, pulling me everywhere. Pulling me, you know, and this little 50-pound pit pit mix is very strong because of the lower center of gravity. So he actually has a lot of leverage, and a harness is only going to increase that leverage. You see this? Hey, so I'm actually using the shake hand, but when he puts too much pressure on the leash, I'll shake it. This is how I got. Hey. This is how I got him setting a boundary for him. This is how I got him to start relaxing on the leash. This is how I got him to start relaxing coming in and out of the crate, because his crate was a thing that they used the crate in the home, which is good, but he really didn't want to go in it. Hey, and then when I put a leash on him to come out, he tries to, you know, bust right through me. So I utilize a shake can with almost 100% of the dogs that come through here. If it works, I use it. This works really well. It's painless for the dog. It's just psychological. You see that? He has respect for this can. He doesn't have respect for humans, right? So we got to use this to get him to start respecting humans. And really, this is just the first thing for him, is just getting him to just sit still and not pull on the leash. And then the other thing I like to do with dogs when I first get them is I want the dog to follow the leash. So I want him to follow my hand. Like when I come this way, I want him to go this way. I don't want him to turn. I don't want him to turn in a weird way. Like I don't want him to go that way and turn around this way. I want him to come with me and kind of mimic my body, and I want him to follow this. Good. See, I want him to start to follow this hand. See that? Hey. So I'm using the shake hand, so I don't have to fight with them, because the dog's already been desensitized. Hey, the dog's been desensitized to pressure, right? So we got to create a new imprint for him. Good. Hey. Hey. So he gets distracted easily. We got to help him. And I can go back and forth between correcting them with this shake hand and the leash. Hey. So the idea is I just want him not to have a bunch of pressure, not pull me every which way. You know, for me it's hard to get the before behaviors for you guys, because then I basically have to get the dog to act that way. As soon as the dog becomes in my possession, I want to stop all of those behaviors dead in its track. I don't want the dog to practice that with me. I want him to practice keeping the leash in a loose manner, and I want him to practice following me. Good job, buddy. I want him to get used to following me and not pulling with a harness. A harness is great if you're going to be riding a bike and you want the dog to actually pull you or tow you. This is a very excited dog. It takes time for them to calm down once they're in this, once they're out of their old environment, or they're used to practicing being excited. It takes a little bit for them to start to acclimate. But we're seeing a lot of, we're getting a lot from the dog. He's calming down a whole lot. He's probably about 50% calmer than he was before. The fact that he can even stand next to me and not try to yank me everywhere is a big plus with him. Like I said, this dog has a very low center of gravity, probably the strongest dog I've had yet. And we're using a prong on him because we need to get as much leverage as we can. With the choke chain, the dog will simply just pull, and he doesn't care if he chokes himself. So we want to use something that's going to be the most effective. I'm using a bigger one on him because he is so strong, so I just used a bigger gauge. He could use a smaller one, but since he is so strong, I want to make sure I have a good sturdy collar.